Hey Christina, I hope you're doing well. This is probably going to be one of my shorter videos, but at least it's going to be finally on time. I wanted to make this video about one of the biggest themes of this week was kind of the struggling of making decisions when you don't know what you want. I think that seems very straightforward, but I'll kind of explain. So going into this year, I had a lot of plans and goals, and they weren't like my normal plans and goals about like reading or completing big races or doing things like that. It was more just self-oriented about having a good time and having this certain perspective and trying to be more open and more outgoing to a lot of things. So going into this year, that's was kind of my plan, to have a good time, to really enjoy and soak up this experience. But as time was moving on, a lot of opportunities, a lot of things came up, and I was struggling saying no and trying to figure out what I wanted in all these things. It's a combination of not wanting to miss out, but also not wanting to make mistakes. I think my biggest dream as a freshman and sophomore was to be like Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt in college had this insane schedule of waking up early and like reading, exercising, doing a bunch of clubs, doing a bunch of classes, and then like partying till the night went out, and then just going to sleep and repeating that every day. And like I thought that was so interesting, so cool. And for me, that meant a combination of singing and music and writing and reading and running and working out and playing sports and doing clubs and activities and just tons of stuff. And I just thought that's what it meant to be a cool and interesting person. And that's what I wanted. As COVID happened and things got pulled back, I realized it's not what I wanted. I really wanted to be with the people. I wanted to, enjoy my experience. I wanted to talk and be with my friends. So this year, when I tried to go against that, I really felt a lot of tension within myself, feeling like, is this a waste? Is this a good decision? Should I go back to my old way of thinking? Is my new way of thinking dumb? When is this old way of thinking useful? When is this new way of thinking wrong? And like things like that. And quickly I started to find inconsistencies and things that were wrong and little everyday things that I was doing, and I found like a lot of tension and confusion with that. I don't know how to be more specific other than I found that there was good things with my old way and good things with my new way, and I had to basically find a kind of middle path to that. During this kind of period of being mixed up in between things, I found myself being stuck in a couple of thought patterns, so there's this saying that I say to myself, which is basically, when you don't know what you want, you just aim for what's best. Using those words makes it sound like a positive thing, but really it's kind of like, here's how I'll describe it. So my number one example is to parents who, like tiger moms, who really don't understand the education system. And this could be anybody, but like, this is just a good example. So parents who don't understand that much education, but they want their kids to succeed and do really well. So they want their kids to go to college. They know it's important, but they don't really understand what the nuances are, what makes it important, what makes a good college. And the number one thing they can do is read the top 10 colleges in the College Board, read it by major, click on which school has the beautiful landscapes, and they do the things that they understand or what they think society thinks is best. Like, oh, Harvard's the best school? Okay, Harvard, boom. Then my kid will go to Harvard because I want the best for my kid, and Harvard's the best. Right? It's much less about what makes sense and what's best for your kid than what's the best thing out there, at least in terms of society and in terms of everything. I feel like that'll really apply to so much of what I wanted in my life, and just like everything, like what you want from a relationship or what you want from your friends or what you want from what you do in a day. It's like, I don't know what I want to do in a day, so I just want to do whatever's the best and most productive. I don't know what I want in a relationship, so I want the most attractive, most cool person, or like, it wasn't really about like, it was basically a shortcut and skipping the step of finding out what you really wanted, and really doing that work takes out all the anxiety and stress from making decisions. It doesn't take it all out, because you'll always have doubts, but when you have no idea what you want, you find yourself constantly fluctuating through these different mind frames and ideas, and it becomes really difficult. I got into this pattern of every time I was making decisions on classes or extracurriculars or what I was even going to do that night, I was constantly asking other people, trying to gauge their approval, trying to see in their eyes what was the best, what was the most interesting, and then doing those things. It's been a really stressful week because throughout a lot of it, I just haven't been able to figure out what I wanted. and I've had a lot of help from talking with friends and talking with family and figuring things out, and it's really made a huge difference. I think I'm going into next week with a lot more faith in myself, a lot more faith in what I'm doing, and more openness in general, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, sorry this is a short video. I think this is good that we're getting back on a good schedule, and bye. See you next week.